The blue dragon led the way with scales that gleamed as bright as day. With treasure foretold and dreams of gold, we'll follow the dragon come what may.
Yeah, went to bed and woke up Wednesday.
What did we even do Wednesday? Like before the fest started?
In the
I don't
morning.
know. What did we do?
Because it feels like there was a pretty decent gap because it wasn't until like
what did
3,
we
right?
do?
Or was it 6 that the...
The openings. Well,
We walked around the bazaar.
Yeah, we checked out the
did.
bazaar. We did like some shopping.
well we had to finish setting up the museum because like we just put it in there.
Oh,
but,
yeah. We spent most of the morning with that.
Yep. And
people were arriving.
People were arriving and donating museum items. So we're kind of giving the shtick like, oh, here, write your item description on this card. We'll set it here. We'll set it up. It looked really cool.
Oh yeah, the museum looked awesome.
I wish I got some better pictures before
we
time
cork
on.
necklaces to the people who donated.
Yeah, that was our thing. Anybody who donated got a cork necklace.
You kind of accumulate trinkets throughout Drachenfest too.
I kind of look at this, you know.
Yeah, like I don't normally wear bling in real life, but this is yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wednesday. Yeah, then we went up to the bazaar just to kind of putz around. More people were arriving at noon. The bazaar is full of enterprises, the guilds, and real life vendors selling weapons and armor and garb and just kit.
Some really cool weapons up there too.
Yeah.
If you're
Candles,
looking for something a bit exotic compared to what you came in with.
Yeah.
So
scale mail, just everything.
Yeah,
Like,
anything. It was
really cool.
the Buster swords were cool. There were a few people selling
Yeah.
massive freaking anime swords, but
I think I was gonna buy one, but they ended up being bought, and that's why I ended up getting.
there'll be more this year. Yeah.
I'm looking
Yeah,
at.
if you want to upgrade.
Well, that day when we do walk around, I'm trying to get one early on before they sell out.
You need like a lance. You need like 18 feet of
Yeah.
reach.
I'm just like, nope.
And then like people push me, I just sit on the ground and just climb it.
Yep. To get away from them.
Wednesday, I think before game on, is that when there was when Khadgar and Yuan had the...
Yeah, Wednesday
they-
morning.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Khadgar and Yuan held a little, fighting training session where they went over the rules of fighting for all of us who, we'd never been in a LARP, especially not one like this, and they went over the rules of fighting and how you should fight to lift the other person, make it the best experience for both you and them when you're fighting.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah, because Drachenfest is a lightest touch. I don't know all the terms, but it's
combat.
Lightest touch combat where we're using these like latex and silicone pretty realistic looking weapons, but they're heavier than a lot of the American full contact boffer LARPs. Like in those games, they have the essentially the homemade weapons that are soft, but it's full contact, full hits, very fast. But with this game, they are really emphasizing the big swings, and you're really just trying to touch or tap different areas on your foe.
Yeah, it's supposed to be cinematic, so you shouldn't be like whipping your sword or like going in for a bunch of like little taps or anything. Like it's supposed to be like if you were an extra in a movie, right? Like your swing should look like they have weight behind it, but when you're actually getting up to hit somebody, it should just be a tap, you know?
Right.
Don't swing through, swing to. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And different pull your hits. But there are some great videos on that made by Khadgar and Yuan.
You'll have to link those too. Yep.
Yeah. So check those links out in the description. They're really good. We're debating of maybe doing one of our own too, just to emphasize a lot of their points and to show yet another. I think it's beneficial for all if there's more content out there demonstrating this style of fighting. We're not the best at it. We're still pretty new, but it's still something, and we have a lot of fun with it. So Khadgar and Yuan, those two players, they demonstrated the fighting. They're going to have another session this upcoming year. They're going to add some more things to it, especially how to fight large monsters. We might touch on that a little bit. But yeah, looking forward to that from them. So yeah, we attended that, and then it was pretty. Oh, then our camp
Big meeting.
had a not yet had a crab boil.
Oh, that's right.
So Blue Camp had a legit Blue Camp.
Shout out to Brodos Wagons again.
Yep.
Who's the
Yep. Coming in clutch with crabs.
His group. We could sign up for a crab boil. So we have some crab, and I think there's some red, and we sat down and ate. But this was all cooked in the Blue Camp Bar Tavern.
The Altar.
The Altar. The greatest bar in the Drachenfest.
Yep.
Let's go drinking at the altar. The best drinking song, by the way.
Let's go drink.
It gets stuck in your head.
Hey, you sing it for months. Yep.
You'll be singing it in your sleep.
Yep, as we were.
And you just make up verses as you go along, and it's quite fun, especially in a group.
Yeah,
but,
It's just fun.
Yeah, but so the Altar, they cooked up some crabs, boiled them up, and served them out to those who wanted to partake in that. It was pretty good. Well, unfortunately, I think we ran out of time a little bit. we had to kind of scarf down our crab.
Yeah, that was kind of...
because it was time for the opening ceremony where the avatars will be summoned into the realm. So we all got on our gear because we were like after this it's game on, and who knows what could happen. We could get attacked on the way back to camp. But yeah, so we went as so we threw on our armor, we ate our crab, strapped on our armor, got our weapons. I was holding Edgar, and we all marched up as a camp, and we had our banner marching along in front of us. We got to the Great Ritual Circle. I think it's a stick, or is it a hanger?
Coat hanger.
It's out of here now.
Yeah, whatever. We marched up to the Great Ritual Circle where the camps summoned forth the avatars. So each avatar came out, and when that happens, it's really cool. One avatar after another will go around the Great Ritual Circle, then they'll stand in front of their camp members. But as the avatars come out, they greet each of the other avatars, and depending on how the avatars greet one another is kind of like how your camp sort of sees the rivalry between the other camps.
And how it starts off. It doesn't have to stay that way, but that's
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the opening.
It's kind of like a read the room moment. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like, yes, the red avatar shook hands with the silver avatar, but he scoffed at the blue avatar. Ooh, you know. Just kind of get people talking. But yeah,
well,
so that was interesting.
Well, what did we see?
Well,
I forget.
I have no idea.
I can't remember. Well, the big thing is that going into Drachenfest last year, Blue and Shadow had an alliance. The Abyss, I think we're all pretty strong proponents for the Abyss, and it was a good alliance throughout the fest. So the Shadow and Blue avatar were very friendly in their greetings.
Yes.
Yep.
I can't remember the other greetings or
I
disgreetings.
can't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
8 months ago.
Yeah. But it was cool. It was cool
am
being there because they marched out. All the camps were going wild.
Yeah. The first 3 camps to go up, I think, was silver, green, and red, just with how they were lining up, and it was really cool. Just walking up, seeing everybody dressed in their garb. And one of my favorite moments was just like Connor said with the Abyss with Shadow. So we kind of walked up a little bit beside Shadow, but kind of not. And as we're walking up, there's all these orcs and these goblins.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh. Oh, it was amazing. Yeah. And I was just I feel like I was in the Lord of the Rings or something. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is sick. This is awesome. And they were just,
Oh yeah, their outfits were.
That's a lot of commitment on their part for doing that.
Yeah, just be able to handle in the heat too. Yeah, that was.
Check out the photo albums if you haven't already done so. There's a lot of good pictures on there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Also linked, as well as the photographers themselves. I'll link those in the description.
You have a lot of links.
Yep.
I think there's
a lot down there in the description.
6
Check
so
it out.
far at least. You got Braddocks. You got.
Well, this is gonna be split into multiple parts, so they won't all be.
Yes. Yeah. Right. Well, he should just link it out to all of them.
Yeah, I'll just copy and paste them.
Oh yeah, I guess that's easier.
But no, so we got there.
Opening ceremony. Our guys came out.
We got the reading, and then it was kind of like, all right, everybody go back to your camp, and that was kind of it. It was like, all right, blue camp's calling, we're going over. I think the refs just straight up told us, hey, we're going over, or whoever was like, hey, we're going over rules in blue. Let's go.
Yep.
So after the opening ceremony, each camp marches their avatar back to their camp, and then that is when the refs will come. Hey, it is game on. Here are the basic rules of play, which is great. Recounting the rules, kind of going over how fighting is done, the very cinematic fighting.
Reacting.
React. How dragon eggs are won, how sieges are going to happen. The refs were so helpful and so kind.
Yeah, the entire ref team was really, really solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
they had a good number, so it was like, you need a ref.
Yeah, you could always find one if you needed one.
Yeah.
There wasn't really a point where I needed one and was like, I don't know where anybody is.
Right. There's always one in camp, just chilling.
Yeah.
And it was so good. But yeah, the refs were there to kind of clarify rules, but also it's like, hey, here's an idea for this thing I'd like to do. Is this possible? And refs could almost like point you in a right direction. Like, oh, maybe you should talk to the Mages Guild, or go like do this thing. They weren't really game runners, or but they were there to kind of just clarify, like, is this possible? And they'd be like, yes or no,
Yeah, and they'd have to coordinate with like the other refs. Be like, hey, some players from blue are going to be trying to do this thing, like at Shadow or Red or whatever.
Yeah, like is Shadow ready for this, or like
yeah.
But yeah, I think overall refs did a great job, and they really just emphasized that the point of this fest and the role play at Drachenfest is to lift other players, right? So everything you should be doing and interacting with other players is to kind of boost them, and if everybody's doing that, then you're going to get boosted 10 times more,
It makes it fun.
which is just fun for everybody, So yeah, we had the reading of the rules, and after that, it was game on.
Yep.
So like, so I remember just feeling like, we could get attacked or get pulled out into a fight at any moment. I don't want to take my.
I think the first thing I heard was somebody ran in. They said, "Red Camp's banners in the middle of the open." And,
Red wanted to start off by having a fight. That was
Yeah, they went. Yeah, because they were like
they were the victors from the first year.
The honor of combat or whatever. So they were like, our banner is just sitting undefended in the center of the field between the camps. Come and claim it. And I think they came to us, and we were like, nah, no thanks. We're still getting situated.
There were some sentence enhancers thrown at the Red Messenger. I remember that.
Yeah.
We're busy. Come back later.
Yeah. We were just still getting situated. Because that's the other thing that we needed to do after the refs.
Oh, yes.
The refs did their reffing.
Diplomacy.
We needed to do camp leaders.
Yes.
So in each of the camps, there are different leadership positions, which include Spy Master, Lead Diplomat, War Master,
War Master,
the Master of War. I think there's another one.
So is it like an assistant to like our camp coordinator, or
I don't know. Champion.
Champion.
Yeah, I think those are the four. There might be another one, but it's in the rulebook. Look at it.
Yeah.
And then there was another support roles kind of like underneath. I can't remember. But yeah, but there was a lot of people.
But I don't think those were really elected. It was more like chosen.
We
only elected the 4.
Yeah.
No,
correct.
We only elected 3. We didn't elect.
What I'm saying is just like there was just underlying rules that like there was a lot of communication, and it wasn't just they were setting those rules and they had all the weight upon themselves on those rules. It's like, yes, certain things they did, but like there was a lot of help going on. So like if you were interested in like going for a role, like go for it. Like everybody's willing to help you out, even if you've never done it before.
Right.
Yeah.
Like diplomat has sub diplomats.
Yeah.
The war master had advisors.
Because there's so much going on that if you're in one of those roles, are not going to be able to do everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like this year, I think it's double the size of last year, so it's going to be even harder for you to.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm
it's
excited
fun
to
to imagine it's going to be double the size for sure.
It's shaping up that way.
Do we want to talk about any of like our moments through the voting, or like saying what they did?
I had a thought.
Well, the champion contest was awesome.
Well, each each camp had a different way of electing their officials. Like I think Red had some sort of combat to. I honestly don't know, so I can't speak to it. But apparently, each camp had its own way of electing their leadership roles. Us as Blue Camp, Freedom, we had a very democratic way of electing our officials. Basically, if you want the role, step forward, state your case. And any challengers, and essentially the camp stands behind who they think will fulfill the role the best. We did that for each of the roles except for the champion, which we had a little fighting ring inside the center of Blue Camp. And anybody who wanted to go for the role of champion had a... what do they call that?
A duel?
Yeah, essentially a duel. Yeah, but it was very theatrical, is the word. So even more cinematic and slower paced fighting than you would see like just on the field at Drachenfest. Yeah. Where it's very like coordinated, almost like WWE wrestling style like combat where like
it was pretty hype.
Oh yeah, where like they're subtly communicating to each other like, oh yeah, throw me over your shoulder, and then like they'll do like a jump and a roll and all that. Yeah. Like it was really cool.
And they did that on the spot.
And our champion, that was his first LARP ever, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And he was doing all these like,
I loved his character.
Flips and dodges. It was crazy. Yeah.
Oh, it was so cool. But yeah, that whole process was pretty awesome.
We had some amazing roles, and I look forward to see what the next year's going to bring.
Every person in each of those roles was phenomenal, and it's going to be great.
Gosh.
Notably, and this is just a meme now.
Yes.
Our War Master.
Yes.
Yes. We had a couple individuals come forward and be like, yes, on my home world, I'm very strategic, and like I have commanded legions upon legions.
It was really cool. It was really cool.
And then
and I was like, yeah, I'm probably like that's a good.
Like, I think I'll vote for them. Master. Yeah.
And then
like player after player, and then this character steps forward. Hi, I'm a tree frog. I live in the forest. Vote for me, I guess.
My name's Keck.
I don't know.
I have no military experience. Yeah. You probably shouldn't vote for me.
Yeah.
And then we all did.
And we all did. And
to be fair, Keck was a great War Master.
Oh, yeah.
We fought and died under Keck several times. Would do so again.
Oh,
yeah.
There have been many quotes and many deaths.
Yeah.
Yep.
With War Master
at the webbed fingers of Keck.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, that was so much.
Who also
a meme. Such a meme.
Was a very accomplished fighter. We found out later.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. So that all happened, and then the red challenge came out,
which we ignored.
We ignored. But I think Shadow.
I think they did.
Shadow took them up on it and took their banner.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Shadow made Shadow the target early on.
Yeah, which led to.
Oh yeah.
Well, I guess before we get into the siege, that was day 2, right? That was Thursday?
No, that's just a Wednesday. Or was it?
No,
the first day they also sieged.
But it was pretty small.
No, they say
it was at the morning.
That was Thursday.
Because Thursday was the Great Siege. That was. Yep. Which apparently some people were saying was larger than even anything that happened in Drachenfest Germany, like number of players wise.
No, I think it was the length.
It was the longest time. Yeah, that makes sense. Because Drachenfest Germany is like huge, but
I was gonna say,
yeah. Because it was hours, so that was Thursday.
Yeah,
so we'll get there.
So
we'll get there.
I can't remember if that was kind of it for Wednesday.
That was it for Wednesday.
Because at that point it was just partying. Like once the sun goes down, it's basically just party.
Especially in Blue, which is awesome because like we like the tiki torches and our little electric lamps and stuff.
Yep,
and the bar opens up and then.
So if you are gonna join Blue, highly recommend bring earplugs.
Yep. If you like,
they will be singing all night.
Yes.
Yep.
And honestly, even though we were pretty close to the center of camp, when I had the earplugs in, I didn't really hear anything.
Yeah,
it was pretty easy to sleep, honestly.
Yeah, each night I don't think we
were never super late.
The latest I remember going to bed was 1:00 in the morning. But even then,
that sounds all right.
I felt like people were still up
because it's summer too, so the sun doesn't go down until 8:30 anyway. So it's
but earplugs and you're running around so much, you're exhausted anyway. So like earplugs, exhaustion. I was out and slept just fine.
Ooh, liquid IV. That's another thing that people should probably, or some kind of like electrolyte restoring drink. Yeah.
It's hot.
Yep.
Yeah. Because you're gonna be sweating because there's some shade, but not a ton in certain areas. Like the bazaar is all pretty much in the open. Yep. If you're out in like a field combat somewhere, you're going to be in the open.
Right. But despite everybody drinking, I think there's only one or two circumstances where maybe somebody had a little bit too much to drink. It was maybe a little too rowdy.
That was the other thing. Blue Camp, I feel like everybody's pretty responsible with their drinking.
Really experienced drinkers, and if not experienced, at least around people who cared about you and made sure you were all right. So very safe, very comfortable. I personally didn't take part too much, just like a drink or two, and then just wanted to sing some songs. But we also had this really cool... What's that?
I said me neither.
Yeah.
I partook quite heavily of the drink, I will be honest. But I never had any problems. Like, I mean, granted, I would go to bed with you guys, so I was always pretty out pretty early.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, it's like we had a little tavern, but we also had this really cool fire pit with the fire chairs around. And like that's where I spent most of my time in the evenings, so just kind of sitting in one of the wooden chairs there and just telling stories and just singing songs with everybody. So that was really cool. The other thing too is Blue Camp is pretty open in the evenings. Rarely, I don't think once after sun went down, our gates were shut.
No, the gates pretty much always open. We usually have a couple guards out there.
We always had guards.
Yeah. But I mean, basically, once the sun went down, I mean, half the fest was at Blue most of the time anyway.
Right.
Or they were up in Lobacaro, up in the marketplace, or
their own taverns. I think some camps went to bed early, like Silver and Green, but we did not.
No. Blue was basically open until the sun came up most days. Yeah.
And which is kind of funny because we would always just like, all right, we just got to watch out because we always expected like another camp to try and hit us in the morning because they knew Blue's up. So at least some of our camp did. Some of our camp was like...
Well, that was kind of good for us because like we were always up pretty early. So
there was always somebody up in the morning.
Yeah.
There was a certain time frame that you weren't allowed to start a siege
until 9 a.m.
Past... Yeah. Is it like 9 to 9?
I think it's something like that.
I think it's 11.
It's 11 to 9.
No, 9 to 11. Maybe.
No, 11 to 9.
I know 9 a.m.
And then I think like 1 o'clock, after 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. there's no combat.
Yeah, because the refs go to bed. It's in the rule books.
It's all in the rule books.
Yeah. I don't think that there were really any sieges that occurred after the sun went down. When you've been like doing stuff all day, I feel like trying to get a force together to do anything of that level is pretty hard.
Yeah, also pretty dangerous whenever it gets dark.
Yeah, you could have trip and fall, or there's all kinds of risk.
Probably sundown to 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the nightlife at Drachenfest, you don't have to party. We spent a lot of time just playing dice.
Yep.
Did we take a nighttime walk? That first night.
Yeah, the first night. We had to take the Abyss.
Yeah, so the Alliance of the Abyss
paperwork,
was reinstated.
Yep.
And they had an official document that we as the museum encased in a frame.
With some gems that we had.
With some gems.
Yep.
And the bazaar, which is the neutral camp, which...
that's one of them, yeah.
A player from the...
Newspaper,
The Nest of Times. They also started an archive for all the important documents and papers that for different things that happen at the fest to be stored at the archive. So they're like, well, this treaty, this alliance form document between Blue and Shadow is pretty important. It's pretty awesome. We will store it up in the archive for you. Super cool. Shout out to Kit from the Nest. Yep. So they came down.
Yeah, we talked to them throughout the fest.
Yeah. Because for some reason we were kind of in the middle of a lot of cool.
Yeah, we ended up in a lot of bizarre situations. So
and he was just kind of hanging out. And,
where the story was.
Kit. Kit.
Yeah, newspaper
guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He rolled down and was part. Yeah, because they signed the documents and they showed up and we encased it in the glass.
And then he was taking it back up to the archive.
Yeah, but we're like, oh, it's nighttime. You get mugged out there. And he's like, I'm from the bazaar. I'm a neutral party.
Yeah,
but I was like, it's nighttime. You could get mugged. Like, it didn't click that the bazaar, you can't attack people at the bazaar because they're neutral. And if you do, there are serious repercussions. Like in-game repercussions.
I didn't realize it was because I thought that it was just like a RP thing.
No, I seriously.
Oh my gosh, I thought it was too.
He was trying to convince me, like, I'm
okay,
a neutral
man,
faction. Like, it's okay. I can walk up there. But then, finally, after that,
he was like, they just want to
can't explain the roles. I was like, oh, well, this is a really cool role play thing to do. So
yes, we took some torches.
Please let us escort you. So we took like a lantern like this and some torches, and we escorted them. Because it's like in game, you're like, you can't just let this important document go out into the darkness and never be seen again. Yeah, you know. So, like, I think that was like one of our first official quests.
Yep.
Like, I was like, that is our first quest, and what a noble, like, awesome quest it is. Like an escort mission to get this document up to the archive. And we did. It was no problem. Everything was fine. We did see some sneaky silhouettes kind of roaming about the trees and stuff, like, along the path.
Oh, yeah, we never did figure out what that was.
I think they're bandits.
Probably.
There were bandits out there in the woods and on the paths.
I guess we were just that intimidating that nobody...
I suppose.
That's probably another thing. If you you probably want to bring some kind of light source because the paths are quite dark once the sun goes down.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you need to make your way to the latrines or the bazaar for whatever reason, you're going to want to be able to see.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing too. Like going to the bathrooms or the showers, nobody's going to bother you.
Yeah.
You know, and if they do, just hey, you know, and then.
Yeah, you could just be like, I'm going to the bathroom or whatever.
Yeah,
or
just take your shower gear. And nobody's going to bother you if
you're carrying a towel and a loofah and everything.
Yeah.
You're
shirtless. They're not, like...
Shirtless. Half of guys were shirtless half the time.
Well, half of the camps were shirtless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was mainly blue camp, though.
Yeah.
Shirtless guy.
There were a lot of people in like red, too, though.
A few in red. Oh, yeah, there was some in red. Yeah,
berserkers.
Yeah.
Their war paint. Super cool. That's the other thing too. Like the washrooms weren't bad. You know, it's a camp washroom. So whatever you think a camp shower looks like,
that's pretty close.
That's what it was. Yeah. Just take your shower shoes. That's
all.
That's it.
You're fine.
Bring some flip flops.
Bring soap, shower shoes.
Yep.
Yeah, and like
other toilet.
There were definitely times where like, especially when people were partying, where like nobody would be in the showers or early in the morning. So. Yeah, so taking a nice shower, when everybody's hungover or actively
even
drinking,
like 8 a.m. nobody was up. Like nobody would get up till like 8:30.
I couldn't sleep past 6.
Yeah, same. It's like as soon as the sun started peeking through the canvas, it was like, nope, time to get up.
I feel like I actually slept in.
You did,
there.
Yeah.
I would wake up when the sun would shine in my face,
which is weird because I always wake up early, but for some reason I was actually sleeping in a little bit.
And then you would throw on your kit and you would leave. And then we were like,
we would never know where you went. Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what he's doing out there. The rest of the fest is asleep.
And then he'd come back and be like, I did all this. And we're like,
was the ritual circle thing? Was that Wednesday or was that Thursday? Because we were involved in that.
Oh, we were in the opening of the circle.
And that was Wednesday night.
That was Wednesday night.
Yeah. Where
was that the one where you guys?
Yeah,
so we were taking different drinks.
Yeah. So each camp has their own personal ritual circle to do like in-camp magics and stuff. I didn't really get into the magic game, so I can't really tell you all what it was used for or could be used for. But like low-tier magic that required a ritual could be done in camp at the ritual circle. Higher-tier magic will be done at the festival great ritual circle.
Oh, I'm trying to crack my back.
Oh.
You don't have a back.
It's right there.
Joke's on Edgar. His is cracked. Quite literally.
Edgar's spine lets him go like this.
Yeah.
He's got pretty bagged.
You gotta fix him.
I fought it, girl.
It's just an old man back.
Oh, yeah. The ritual circle. So, yeah, then there's the great ritual circle, which is up in the bazaar, or part of the bazaar, which allows you to do greater magics.
We had one event there.
Yeah.
Well, kind of.
Later on.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
foreshadowing. Yeah, so, but each camp needs to open their circle. And they were looking for volunteers, and we're like...
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because, like, that's the thing. Like, one of the biggest tips that I learned from all like the YouTubers and podcasts I listened to going into being a fresh LARPer was always say yes. You know, if it sounds fun, you're not doing anything, just say yes. If something comes up, a roleplay opportunity, just say yes. So they're like, does anybody want to do this? Like, anybody at all? And we're like, okay, yeah, sure. So us and a group of other players and some of our lead mages.
Those two.
Yeah. Yeah. What is this? Identity and Khadgar?
Yeah, I don't think the other two were.
I mean, I was standing
You guys
outside.
I watched.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was not.
We
involved.
were
Gave me
actually
a few nice chuckles.
dancing around the circle and drinking, and
Yeah. So our ritual circle was set out on the lake. Actually,
I wish
there's
I
a
had
very
that.
thin peninsula, kind of going out to like this little geese-covered island almost thing.
peninsula.
Yeah, where they set up like the tiki torches and stuff, and we went out there with our. They said bring a cup. Yep. So take
Yeah, we were supposed to bring a drink. It was already
Yep.
supposed to be full
yeah,
of whatever.
drink,
yeah.
bring a drink and a cup, and we marched out there, and some of our bards came, our musicians, they had the drums going, and the mages did the ritual to open the circle, which involved us like dancing around with our mugs and eventually pouring it into
A central
one
container.
big container. And then some poor sacrifice having to drink the...
No, two people were drinking that.
True. Oh, to drink
That
the
was
concoction.
so
yeah.
gross.
And that's how we opened the blue camp circle.
I mean, it didn't care, but
This
like,
is the way.
They volunteered.
It was, but the rest of our camp was like sitting
did they
on
know
the
what
bank,
they were
just cheering us
volunteering
on.
for?
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
Oh, they did.
Because they were
They went
specifically
over it.
like, you're going to have
They
to drink
went
a
over it. That's
nasty
right.
mixture
Yeah.
of...
Yeah.
And you might get covered.
There were actually like a weird amount of like random opportunities to drink questionable liquids throughout the fest. Because that was another thing from Wednesday night was the Illuminators. Was
that Wednesday?
I think it was Wednesday, right? The people in the white robes were coming around.
Oh, that was Thursday. I think.
Okay, that was Thursday. But like they apparently had a drink that if you answered the right questions, they'd give it to you.
Yeah.
Had some homemade mead Friday night, I think that was pretty good. Like so.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that definitely wrapped up Wednesday. With all that shenaniganing. And then, yeah, went to bed after some drinks and some meeting people. I went to bed kind of earlier that night because we were like, anything could happen on Thursday. Probably something's going to happen.
Yep.
We caught wind of Shadow wants to have a friendly duel in the morning. So we're like, oh, we need to go to bed and get prepared for that because we don't know what's going to happen there. You know, we're in alliance with Shadow. The Abyss is what the alliance is known as. And we're like, we're just going to have a friendly duel, you know, almost to practice, you know, to get some swings in. And so like, we need to go to bed early for that. So we had some drinks, but we went to bed, I think, relatively early.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was Wednesday.